Okay, good morning. So we're gonna look at your work for word problems on page 108 of your activity worksheet. So let's look for question 8. Okay, we stop by going through the word problems and focusing on cubes. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna show you cubes using a red pen. Okay. So we circle all our numbers, drawing the arrows to know what the fraction belongs to. Underline the question for you and box up the action words. Okay. Once we've done our cubes, we can now proceed on to do our U in our UPDC. Here we have to read each sentence to find out what to write for under our U. First, Jim walked 3/8 kilometer. So walk 3/8 kilometer. He jogged half kilometers longer than the distance he walked. So jog half kilometers longer. The question is asking what was the total distance that Jim covered. So total question mark. So after we finish our U, we're going to use the draw model in our P from the information we found in U. So let's look at each information. Since there are two actions, walking and jogging, we're going to draw two different models. So walk is 3 out of 8. Okay. Now, he jogged half kilometers longer. So on the jog, half kilometers longer. So since he jogged half kilometers longer, the value of the model in this space here will be 3 out of 8. Now, the question is asking for total. So, question mark. From here, we want to find out what operation to use. And clearly, from the model, we can see that the operation to use is actually plus, an addition. From here, we're going to proceed on to our do. And do is where we show our number sentences. So total is just 3/8 plus 3/8 plus half. This is from the model itself. From here, we find the equivalent fractions of half, knowing that the common denominator is 8. So times 4 times 4, as you can see in purple. Here, now we write down the equivalent fractions, which is 4/8. And since they have the same denominator, we can add all numerators together. And here will give me 3 plus 3 plus 4. And this will give me 10 out of 8. You have been learning that we cannot leave our answers in improper fraction. So we're going to convert it to mixed number, and this can be done using long division, and you will get 2 out of 8. We also know that we need to simplify our fractions. So to simplify, we are going to divide by a common factor, which is 2. And from here, we get our answer to be 1 1/4. Oops. Kilometers. Do not forget the units. So how do we exactly check It's very simple. We just use the answer in our D to find one value that's found in the question. So let's say I want to find the value of half, or I want to find the value of half. So what I do is I'll find jog first. So this will be 1/4 minus 3 out of 8. So from here will be 10 out of 8 minus 3 out of 8. And here will give me 7 out of 8. So to find the half is just 7 out of 8 minus 3 out of 8. This will give me 4 out of 8. And if divided by 4, my answer will be half. And this is my check. Okay. So this is pretty simple. Using the models to help us to find the answer is very important for us to actually find out what operation to use in our number sentence. So now let's look at question number 9. So again, we're going to do cubes, and I'm going to show it in my red pen. So 1 liter of hot water. Use 2/5 liters to make chocolate drink, and another 1/2 liters of hot water to make tea. So the question is asking how much hot water was left in the flask. Left is an action word. Used is an action word. Okay. So since we have done our cubes, now let's do our U. So hot, 1 liter. Chocolate, 2/5 liter. Tea, 1/2 liter. And finally, left, question mark. So how do we draw this model? What we're going to do is we're going to draw out the 1 liter, and we're going to portion out the two values, the two amounts that was used to make a chocolate drink and a tea. So here is one liter. From here, 2/5 is used to create a chocolate drink. 2/5. Next, 1/2 is used to make tea. So now they're asking for left, question mark. And from a model, it is very clear to find left is just using the operation minus. So let's do our number sentence. Left is just 1 minus 2/5 minus 1/2. 1 whole. Before we can actually put a fraction, an improper fraction to 1 whole, we have to find the common denominator between 2 and 5. So by multiplying the denominators together, 5 times 2, 2 times 5. We know that the common denominator here is 4 out of 10 minus 5 out of 10. So from here, 1 whole must be 10 out of 10. 10, now they have the common denominator of 10. We can just subtract the numerator. So 10 minus 4 minus 5. And this will give me 1 out of 10 liters. Do not forget the units. Now, how do we do check for this, since there are three values, three amounts of water being used to make different drinks? Simple. We just need to subtract the answer from the whole and use one of the values to find for our check. Let's say I want to find half liters, the amount that was needed to make tea for my check. So all I need to do is 1 minus 1 out of 10 minus 2 out of 5. From here, I know that I need to make common denominator. So it will be 10 out of 10 minus 1 out of 10 minus 4 out of 10. And this will give me 5 out of 10. And simplifying it, which means I divide by 5 for both numerator and denominator, I will get my answer to be 1.5 liters, and this is a check. Okay, it's very simple if you were to read the question sentence by sentence. So that's it for fractions in word problems. So I will just continue on with the next activity on fraction of a set to understand better how we actually find fractions in a set. Thank you.